Hello and welcome everyone, my name is Kepken and today we're gonna be talking about Dragon Age the Veilguard with the recent two reveals of the game itself and the gameplay of the Veilguard. We do have quite a lot of interesting topics to cover. We do have some gameplay, I will show it here just for the purpose of showing it, and then there is a lot of community drama and a lot of community reactions to everything that happens, but just in general, I do think that most of people are quite skeptic about Veilguard, and they are rightfully so skeptical about it, because the game that they've shown in both reveals, first it was the trailer cinematic one that was very cartoonish, very comics-like. It was not in the type of the universe that Dragon Age was before, especially before Inquisition, before all the modernization of BioWare, EA, and all that stuff. So yeah, Dragon Age the Veilguard does not look like CRPG, does not really look like a good RPG either, and as an action game with the gameplay reveal, it does not feel the best that you can find on the market nowadays. So the game misses most of the marks. It does not really cater to the audience that was essential of the franchise in the first place. So all the people who loved the game, the gaming IP, will probably be quite dissatisfied with the game. And now let's go see how the community reacted. Most of the posts around the gameplay and around the trailers and around all the discussions do have quite a controversial ratio on Reddit. So this is an official Dragon Age Reddit here. We do have 3.5k, 3.6k likes and 3.8k comments on discussion, which means that it is way more controversial, the topic itself, even though it may not be as hated in general, because the gameplay that they've shown wasn't bad. It just was very, very mid. It was mediocre at best, 5 or 6 out of 10, and nothing from the style and from the art was resembling of Dragon Age at all. It was cartoonish, it was very Marvel-esque, and it was not really nor dark fantasy, nor really, it was very generic fantasy that you will not really remember it as much, even though on a quality level, just in general of in terms of graphics and some animations, it was okay. It was okay. Yeah, and then there's this like big post that has yet again 3.8k upvotes and 3.5k comments, with just in general every single big post having this type of discussion. And yeah, let's roll through the first reactions to the first trailer that it was revealed. So Scout Harding as a companion, everyone pretty much assumed so after the AI, but I'm happy to see it. So someone is happy for older characters to return in the game. So let's do what must be done. So basically, in a cinematic trailer, and this is on Reddit. So this echo chamber is a little bit predisposed to being more easygoing on the franchise and easygoing on maybe some mishap from the developers. And that's why they're just mostly talking about the cinematics in here. Really don't know how I feel about the change in art style. And this has quite a lot of updates too. Varric apparently got some work done. I really hope that was just a badly misjudged trailer and the real tone is going to be more epic fantasy than hero shooter quips. Marvel stuff. Edit can say, I'm filled with confidence by how the replies seem evenly split between, of course, they'd never do that silly, and they've always done that silly. Yeah, and this is one of the points of discussions that I've saw in here quite often too. There are two types of people. One type of people who played Dragon Age Origins and loved it so much, and all the other games that were already produced in Dragon Age series was not as favored by them at all, and they love that dark and very serious tone of fantasy that was in Dragon Age Origins. And then there's second type of players or people who see it on the Reddit, and those are Inquisition lovers. Those are people who love to eat more of a modern trash that is produced by EA and BioWare, and just all the generalized types of fantasy or sci-fi things that are going out now. Basically a Marvel movie enjoyers. And these types, this type of people was not really against the things that were shown in the official trailer. As you can see here, whenever you look at this image, if this image makes you kind of disgusting and you're like, yeah, is this Dragon Age? Is this what they want to be a preferred thumbnail for the video, for the reveal of their new game? This character should entice me to watch this. If you're like this, then you're probably in favor of Dragon Age Origins and more of a realistic, good stories. If you look at this and you somehow feel that it is an enticing character to look at, and you found the things in trailer being interesting and cool with however they were presenting them, then you're probably a Dragon Age Inquisition enjoyer, maybe Mass Effect Andromeda enjoyer, and this game will probably be an okay for you, but I really, really doubt that there's a lot of people like that. Yeah, and then there is some bigger posts here. So official gameplay revealed, lots of scattered news today. So yeah, screenshots. There's going to be romance. All companions are pansexual, of course, which is, yeah, they're not pansexual. If not romance, companions will pursue a relationship with each other. So it's whenever this is a like third or fourth point in there after screenshots, and something about linearity of if it's on par with linearity of the story and 60 FPS on console, and the romance comes after that, and then it's character creator, yeah, it kind of tells you about what's the priorities of people. Not the RPG parts, not the story itself and the intricacies of story, not the lore, not the how the world looks, how the world feels, how the gameplay feels. And that's yet again official gameplay reveal. This is post with news about the official gameplay reveal. Okay, so then speaking of classes, okay, and the combat, as you see here, is the last in the, it is before edits. It is one of the last points, and this kind of shows you what people on their subreddits, just like this, are catered towards and what they are thinking about. Our hub is going to be Lighthouse, save game imports. It's not really that much of an importance. Are those two elven gods right at the end of the trailer? So some lore points here. I like that Solus showed no signs of even wanting to hurt Varric there, at most a de-escalation by destroying Bianca. So yet again, more lore points. I have nothing against it, but it is kind of weird that people do not talk about the gameplay features on the gameplay reveal thread. Solus killed Bianca. Previews are coming up everywhere. A plot twist reveal is 20 minutes of Sandal and Boran camping your Veilguard hub to sell you stuff. I have a feeling that Rook just accidentally released the Evaneris. And yeah, so most of the upvoted comments in here are not really gameplay related that much. And then we do have here genuine question: do you like the DA franchise or did you just like Origins? And this is what I was talking about before. So I know this probably won't be taken well, but I'm genuinely curious about it. Many of the complaints about DAV, Veilguard, seem to mostly revolve around the fact it's not Origins specifically. I don't really see people upset it's not like DA2 or DAI, so Inquisition or Dragon Age 2. So what makes me wonder is that do you like the franchise or the entry point? Origins, that it's the outlier, not makes Dragon Age Dragon Age. I'll also be fully transparent that I've never used the tactics mode in any of the games, so I full on don't feel like anything is missing with its implementation, listening over the games. I don't dislike Origins, I want to make that clear. I'm just wanting to understand, because it makes no sense to me when the franchise has been changing since entry 2. And that's not really a good part. the most critically acclaimed game in the franchise in Dragon Age is Dragon Age Origins. And the franchise itself got so much love in the first place because it was built from the success of Origins, from all the systems, from all the parts that Origins had. If the franchise was started from Dragon Age 2, being called Dragon Age 1, or from Inquisition, being called Dragon Age 1, I do feel sincerely that the franchise would have been in way lower spot than it is currently. It would not be a worldwide phenomenon, and it will not be beloved franchise, especially if it was started from Inquisition. So the people like this. It is a good question, and I'm sorry that they feel like the rest of the franchise has anything close to Origins in terms of quality and in terms of sincerity, because EA was always a greedware company. They were always chasing profits and stuff like that. And whenever Origins started at such a high note, they dumped everything down. They've started and they've proceeded with financializing the IP and trying to make it as vast as possible, and they've kind of ruined it, and or at least they've really messed up with its ratings, and they've placed it way below than it was on the entry point. So Dragon Age Origins is always going to have a special place in my heart because it was the game that got me into video games. Having said that, I love the world of Dragon Age. I've played all of games a million times, love the rich lore. Now, I was never not gonna play Veilguard. I can learn the new combat, but what matters most to me personally is a rich story with rich characters that make me feel things. Yes, and yet again, this person here, they got into love with the Dragon Age story in the first place from how Dio Origins introduced them into it, with how immersive and believable that particular game made the whole world to them. If they started from the different point, they may not have ended up liking the lore and the world as much. So yeah. And it's not about just combat in Veilguard that makes it so bad, but yeah, you see here a perspective of person who is already invested in a franchise so much, and that's why they will eat everything that they will be shoved up, because it's from that franchise. And that's why EA doing this with their complete unknowledgeness of why the franchise was good in the first place. They just know that people will eat everything that they will serve to them. Both. I like the Dragon Age series. I love Dragon Age Origins. I'm gonna throw the why isn't it Origins crowd a bone. I've seen lots of them say they like DA2 and or Inquisition. They just think Origins was where the series as its best. And 99 more replies to this comment, which is shows you that it's kind of a an interesting point. Origins will always be my favorite, though I like the Dragon Age franchise in general. Yeah, and it's not uncommon for you to see people who are on the Dragon Age subreddit to like the whole series. But it is not really the it is not really the common vibe from people, and it's not really why Veilguard is so. It looks so odd. It looks so off, and it will probably fail way more than it could have been if it was way more similar to Dragon Age Origins, or it was just in a much more serious and adequate tone rather than just being this quirky Marvel funny adventure with giggles and all these kind of faceless characters, or at least maybe some type of faceless art style too, even though it looks quite beautiful, I'm not gonna lie, but it's just not the right it's not the right style in my opinion. So thanks for watching, hope you're having a good time, bye.